Tuesday. Apparently, UPS has come today and brought me a special package, something to unbox for you. As usual, this box comes to me completely sealed. I was so excited, I didn't even tear off the labels. I just marked them all out. I know what this is. And the entire box is still all completely, utterly secured. Let's get opening. All right, that end was already opened by our friends at UPS, somewhere between there and here and wherever. Woo! All right, oh. Forgot to open the top box, you know? There we go. All right, here's a complaint. You ship me $3,000 worth of equipment and you don't put any padding in the box. Really? I love my Canon. I've got a Canon 70D, which is what I'm filming on right now, and I love you dearly. I've also got a Canon 60D, which is upstairs that I use as a secondary camera, and I love you dearly. But you don't do what this guy does. This, my friends, is the Panasonic, also known as LUMIX GH5 camera. Micro Four Thirds, shoots in 4K, has got an incredible lineage and history here on the YouTube machine and out there in the romping environment. This is a big dog and a big step up for my videos. I also bought with this, not as a kit lens or whatever, but I bought the 12 to 35 millimeter f2.8 Panasonic. What I did do is stuck with the Panasonic lenses, at least for now, to ensure complete compatibility and make sure that these two items actually speak to each other and they work really well together. They form like a nice little pack. I was looking at the Metabones and other adapters to use for some of my existing Canon glass, which I do happen to like, but I think for my first lens or two, I actually have a second lens already picked out. I haven't purchased yet for this camera. Without much ado, let's get into the unboxing of the f2.8 12-35 millimeter and the LUMIX GH5. First, the lens. Instructional packet here. Nice and nice, happy. We'll keep this aside for now. The box is nice and sturdy. Actually, this is a very sturdy box for a lens, but this is not, this is not a $149 kit lens. This is like a $700, $800, actually $800, $900 lens, so it's not inexpensive at all. Lifting out, there's the little sunshade. Ooh, fancy schmancy. It comes with its very own, wrapped in a small plastic bag, lens bag. Well, isn't that handy? Thoughtful. Click this box. I'm sorry, I'm just like really excited. Click this box open to reveal. Man, look at the packaging. This is really great. I just pulled out another insert that keeps all these different items separated, and even this comes with another box in a box to protect the lens. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this was inside of the box to help from the bottom, help prevent impact from the bottom, and also some crush on the sides. Nice job. Excellent packaging. Thank you. I always like to give a shout out, and I'm often very intrigued about packaging. I really enjoy opening certain boxes or certain things that come to me and really look at the packaging and how much care and engineering goes into making something as simple as a box. Cool. And I'm doing this an awful lot. Here is the 12 to 35 lens. Isn't that pretty? Made in Japan, Team Japan, thank you very much. There's the thumb again. Click off lens cap here. Everything looks to be in order. No cracked or broken glass on the front end. Metallic ring here. This actually feels pretty substantial. This feels heavy. I've got a lot of lenses. I don't have one here available. I've got the lens on there right now. I've got 10 by 18 on there right now. But this feels heavy, like there's a lot going on inside here. I was concerned about the potential quality of this guy from other reviews, and other reviewers talked about the amount of plastic. This feels pretty substantial, and it does have a metallic hub that will mate up to the camera at some point here pretty soon. Obviously this will fit into this bag and be stored. This will click on top of there. You know how all this stuff works. I'm not gonna do that right now. Store this, store that, put this into the box for later, and now, boom. The LUMIX. I got a question real quick. I was watching another YouTube video, another guy on video, and see right there in the lens, I'm not sure if this is gonna be able to pick up or not. But right there it says 12 or 35. Get the little red dot right there on the little on the dealie. The one that I saw before had an HD right there. Is there an HD model or version of this lens, or is it just a single type lens? Huh, let's pull up on the 27-inch iMac 5K. Let's just see about that. All right, after a quick bit of research, it would seem that there is a version of this same lens, this 12 by 35, that does have an HD version to it and a non-HD version. This is the professional lens, something, but this one retails at Amazon for $900, $897. The version that shows HD here is listed as an international version with no US warranty at $630. So I don't know the difference in the two pieces of glass. This one does feel substantial. I'm gonna quickly get over the fact this doesn't have HD on there, and we're gonna move right along to really the star of the show, oh, I don't wanna shake it. The actual camera. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Unclick here. Open here. Look at all this goodness gracious. These look to be some optional accessories that are available for the GH5. The assumption is when you open the box, you immediately know it's plug and play with this device here. I'm not gonna worry about the accessories right now. I'm just gonna hop into the camera itself and open this up. I like, again, the box, the opening thing. This cardboard feels pretty good on top. Actually, the box for the lens feels a tiny bit heavier, but I'm assuming there's more padding inside. Information packet here. Dear customer, that's me, about the upgraded firmware. Yeah, there is an upgrade to this camera for sure. As a matter of fact, Scott McKenna, if you don't subscribe to Scott McKenna, I will throw his link over here somewhere. Outstanding filmmaker, great storyteller. He does primarily wedding videos, but he also does corporate videos. He's a very big fan of these, and he actually did a fantastic side-by-side comparison of the LUMIX GH5 with the original software and the updated software in focal tracking and object tracking, this, that, and the other. Great video. Thank you, Scott, for uploading that. But I'll definitely be upgrading this camera soon. I'm assuming it didn't come with the upgraded software, but it might have. I'm sorry, firmware. But it might have. I don't know. Hopping into the box a bit more. Here is the padding for the top of the box, which is involved with this quarter-inch or so of books and manuals that come with this fantastic camera. We have a quick start guide in English for the camera itself. We have the owner's manual for the camera itself. This is the instructions in what looks to be either Spanish or French. This would be Spanish or maybe Italian, I don't know. I'd put that in the box for later. Registration card, thank you. And a little bit of a lens lineup, talking a little bit about the different lenses. Ooh, look at there, turn to the center fold. My, how things have changed. Kind of a nice graphic of all of the lenses that are available for this camera or this series of cameras. Another layer of wonderful cardboard, and then we get into there's a little contents information here on the box that shows what's actually in the box itself. I've already passed through some of these items, so I'm going to kind of bypass this for now. You can get a quick look at it, screenshot if you'd like. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And camera strap, LUMIX camera strap. An accessory box with what looks to be a charger adapter, a 110 charger adapter. A USB to USB-C cable, and it's going to have the little dimply thing on there, the little fat guy on there, which probably means that's a filter to help kind of keep some electrostatic filter and noise out of the transfer of those documents and things going over that line. Battery charger, I'm going to take you out because I'm assuming I'm going to have to need you here pretty soon. Very much like the Canon, although this one doesn't have the flip out like the Canon has a flip out for the popping it to the wall. This one has the hookup for this plug. I guess that's okay. I don't know. I kind of like just having everything in one place, but I will learn to get over it if that's the way it's going to be. What are you? You're something. You look special. You screw into something. I don't know. I have no idea what this is. I am assuming I will find out later what that is for. And I'm assuming this is the battery itself. Yep. This is the battery itself for the LUMIX. A little bit smaller than the Canon battery. I don't have one here to compare with. I am so sorry. But a little bit smaller than the Canon battery, but I have heard that these battery packs are quite well and have a fantastic lifespan to them. They are 1860 milliamp, 14 watt lithium ion battery. Doesn't that just sound just sexy? Sorry. And what else is in this box? Golly. Oh. The camera and its own little clothy thing. I'm gonna put this down for just a second. Okay, I'm assuming that's all the proper noises. Anyway, this is the bottom of the box. It's the accessories came inside of this along the back of the box. The camera is nestled into this plastic doodad here. All recyclable. Also, great job for you all. Recyclable, number 5, and then the box itself. I typically keep camera boxes because they have a lot of great information on them as far as UPC codes, warranties, this, that, and the other. So great. First look at the first ever GH5 ever in my house that I'm aware of. Ever. First impressions, this is a tiny bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. This feels mighty nice in the hand. I'm going to put it right up next to my Canon. I'm going to say the grip is nearly identical in size. The actual surface area you contact is very, very identical to the Canon. I wouldn't find my pinky falling off of this too easily, nor does on the Canon. But it has a great feel to it. The knobs are a bit higher profile, a bit taller than they are on my Canon. And over here, where I have this selector on the Canon, it is soft key type stuff. It does have the little flappy doodads, that's a technical term, doodads, for the neck strap on there, which kind of cause a little bit of rattle. A wonderful feature of this camera. I'm gonna be completely mental and just kind of flip around this thing as best I can. Front of the camera, obviously the lens will mount here. It's just a typical mount off lens. Lens ejection button's gonna be right over here. Not a lot of controls on the front. Same with my 70D, very, very similar. On the back, you have your viewfinder, hot shoe. You have different selectors. You have your menu wheel. You also have what they call FN keys, and these are going to be function keys. What you can do is set up predetermined little macros or shortcuts with these function keys. For example, if I wanted to have the camera do a specific scene or lighting scene or shutter speed or something, I can hit FN3, for example, to give me something else for the camera to do kind of automatically, instead of going through all the different settings and setting it up for that particular event. I'll get into that more later. It does have a swing out screen. This is LED, and it does swivel a full 180 degrees towards you, like if you're doing vlogging, so you can watch yourself like I'm doing right now on that camera. And then it goes back, and it will also probably tilt down about not quite 90 degrees, maybe 70 some odd degrees. It'll tilt down if you're doing shooting at an up high level, but you want to be able to see what you're doing either off of a tall tripod or a stick or just holding it in your hand. You can look through and you can still have visibility into whatever scene you're trying to shoot. Very sweet on that. On the side of the camera, there's a microphone in button, which I would use with my microphone that I have on this camera, the Shure microphone. There is a headphone out jack. This is kind of cool. You can actually be wearing a pair of headphones and listening to the audio through here to make sure that you got the proper scene sounds, proper noise level, sound level, this, that, and the other. Pretty cool on that. One thing this camera does have that a lot of cameras don't have is a full-size HDMI. Right there is the HDMI. I'm not sure if you can actually see it or not, but there is an HDMI out for this. Full size means a couple things. Number one is they're easy to find. They're all over the house. In hotels, you want to pull it out from the back of the TV and plug into here to watch something you filmed on the large TV screen. You can do all that with the full-size HDMI. Secondly, on the micro HDMIs, I've had a few. I find them to be a bit flimsy, and they tend, because the cable is kind of heavy, the HDMI cable itself is kind of heavy, I find that when you plug in the HDMI mini into a camera or another device, it tends to kind of work its way out and fall out of its setting. So that's probably not a bad thing to have the full-size HDMI. And then down here is the USB-C inlet that you would use for data transfer with this cable right here that goes into a traditional USB. But I also have with being a USB-C out to my MacBook Pro USB-C in. I don't have one that's got a noise filter on it like that, but I might play with it to see if I have any kind of degradation or loss in picture quality or sound quality. I do a lot of my recording in the camera as opposed to an external microphone, so there might be a difference there. Let's take a quick tour of the top. Here is your settings wheel for your different modes of camera over here. And then on this side, you have your different types of shooting. Single shot, multi-shot, video, 4K, macro, all your different settings here, and your timing settings are over here as well. This camera is also fairly unique, I believe, in that it's got a joystick. I'm not really sure if you can see this very clearly or not, but it does have a joystick here, which will be outstandingly helpful for the menu selections. You can zip around the menus really quick. You can also, I'm assuming, do it down here with the menu wheel. On the bottom, battery door with a nice lock on it to help you release the battery right there, and click that closed and lock the battery in place. On the Canon, it's just an automatic clip. You flip it up and automatically locks for you. This one, it does take an extra step to lock the battery, but you do get that click letting you know it did lock into place. Over here on the side, again, fairly unique. This particular camera does allow you to use 2 of the micro SD cards. This is a little small 32 gigabyte SD card that I could use in here. There's a 128 in this camera here. You can actually load multiple cameras in here, and I believe, I may be lying to you, but I believe you can hot swap them while you're filming. I don't know that for sure, but if you fill up one card, I think you can click it out while you're still filming. This could be a potential lie. I may be lying right out of my teeth. I'll verify it. I'll put the answer right here. Yes, you can, or no, you can't do that. But anyway, and again, it closes up with a really nice click, as does the Canon 70D. There is another hole here to add in an external remote should you want to operate this camera remotely. Again, on top you've got the what looks to be the movie button here, which is red, and then you have a separate shutter release here like this. On the 70D you have a shutter release in the front like this is, but in the back you have the movie button back there. Playback button. I told you we jump around this camera like crazy. Playback button over here to play back probably the last couple of things that you shot. And then along the bottom, lastly on the bottom, you have your tripod mount here. It would be an understatement to say that I'm super excited to get this camera. I did purchase it through Amazon. I've got this and the lens together as a package along with their 4-year drops and spills and breakage warranty, which is a great deal for $100 to add on to this package. Overall, extremely excited for this camera. I love my Canons, but this will be giving me some flexibility and some capacity to do other types of filming, other kind of work, which I'm very excited about doing. With that, I'm going to sign off on this one and go play with this. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. The button's right over there. It says subscribe next to it. Next to the subscribe button is a little bell. You click the bell, you'll get a notification when I upload videos to my channel. You'll be the first to know. Well, one of the first to know. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, scraps, complaints, leave them down for me below. Other than that, I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.
2 hours later.
It's been a few hours since I got the new GH5. I must say that I really do like this camera. It is a wonderful form factor. It's very substantial. It's a metallic housing with a nice coating over it to help keep the camera and the lens water resistant, dust resistant, this, that, and the other. Obviously you can't take it under the water, but you can definitely use it in kind of a rainy, misty environment. I've taken a few short videos. I've taken a couple of photos. I would think that this camera for me is going to be 95% video and a few photos here and there. I'm going to keep the 70D that I'm filming this on right now, which I think takes great pictures too. I love the look of the Canon photos, the nice warmth of them. But the photos that this little guy takes are pretty darn impressive too. I did take a couple of videos with it, just goofing off around, but really haven't used it for vlogging yet. So what I'm going to do now is take this camera and plug it into this tripod and microphone, and I'm going to do it right now. And here we are at the GH5 from Panasonic. Don't get me wrong, I do love my 70D. Great camera. I love the warm Canon colors. This thing is set up ready to go for me in all my vlogging endeavors, and I really enjoy this camera. But I'm very excited to explore what all the GH5 has to offer me in my vlogging to help infuse different look and feel into my videos, into my unboxings, and everything else that I do. I think if you're being a little bit patient with me while I get used to this camera, there's a lot of settings on this camera I need to go through and to ensure that I have the right look and feel. So this may not be the final look that you're getting right now. I've got my harsh lighting on me and I don't know what all over else. I did upgrade the software or the firmware in this camera, so it does have the enhanced system in it. I think it's 2.1. So that definitely has been upgraded from when it was out of the box at 1 or 1.1. But that being said, I will end this day with this camera saying thank you all for being here. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.